Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Belt Loop 29 on the Belt Loop 29 channel. We're going to take a real quick tour of the permaculture food forest. I guess that's what you call it. Right now it's basically an orchard and some other perennials, hopefully, that'll live and provide food. Anyhow, let me show you around. I know that I've done a couple tours, but this is more updated and there's a few things that you might want to look at. Let's go. Two things of note over here. This is where the plum trees are. There's 6 trees over here. That one doesn't seem to have progressed as much as that one over there. They were both planted on the same day. Nevertheless, that one seems to have hit a growth spurt, and it could be, well, I don't know what it is. That one, I believe this one actually gets more sun, but it does have a tree right there above it. Seems like that would protect it a little bit from that, really hot afternoon sun. That one is a methley plum. That's a methley plum, and this is a methley plum. Now these 4 trees right here in between, those were planted this year, though 2 on the ends, those were planted last year. That one, and this one are all methley plums. I believe that's a Santa Rosa right there. And that may be a Santa Rosa over there, even though I've lost the tag to it. This one right here is the Ruby Sweet plum. They seem to be doing okay. I mean, they were just planted this year. I'm not seeing any clusters on the leaves. Clusters of leaves, that is, I guess. Anyhow, now these are really, I'm very proud of how they're coming along. These bad boys are cherry trees, sweet cherry trees. These are special order. I had to get these all the way from Texas. And let's take a look. This particular one is Royal Crimson cherry tree. Again, these are sweet cherry trees. This is a mini royal cherry tree. And this one over here is, what is this one? Oh, that's right, here it is. That's a Royal Lee cherry tree. And these are low chill hours. They're supposed to require about 450 chill hours. Well, I'm in central Mississippi, Rankin County, and I know we're just outside of Jackson. Jackson gets between 500 and 800 chill hours per year. Most people would tell you can't grow sweet cherries here in Mississippi, but these should do it. These just got planted this year. Now, one thing about it, you'll notice I put these in a raised bed. Cherry trees do not like wet feet. They don't like their roots to stay wet, so I raised it up a little bit, put some really good, improved the soil a little bit around them where they're going in. I'm hoping that they'll do well, and they seem to be. Although that one over there, that is the southwest side that one's planted on. Anyhow, I expect it'll get, really good sun. I may have to trim them back a little bit. I'll do a pruning video one day on those, but I'll probably wait for it to get a little bit cooler. Let's see, these are 4 peach trees. We thought that was a nectarine, but as you can see, the fruit on there, we'll take a little bit better look. That's a peach tree, got it put in last year. This is a peach tree that was supposed to be a nectarine. And we got 2 more over there. I know 2 of these are Bella Georgia. One's like let's see, well, let's take a look. Indian Cling, maybe? Yeah, an Indian Cling peach. These other 3 should be nectarines, and I'm really happy with them. You see all that green? That's new growth. These just got put in this year. You can tell because these white tag ones got put in this year. Cherokee nectarine. And let's see. Cherokee nectarines. Well, I'm gonna have to look into Looks like we got a little bit of pest problem here. We'll take care of it. All right, the apple trees I think I covered the other day, but that is the Granny Smith. That is the Anna apple, and over here beside it is a Dorset Golden. Dorset Golden's the only tree out here that can cross-pollinate with the Anna apple. That's just because of how early it gets started. That should be an Ozark Gold apple tree and Arkansas Black. We got the raised bed over here. It's got asparagus growing, and well, it's got tomatoes as well. You can see a few of the small ones. These tomatoes have kind of taken over, but who can say no to tomatoes? Anyhow, you got the asparagus ferns out here. They're still getting some sun. It won't be long I'll be cutting back these tomatoes. We got enough tomatoes, I believe, over in the garden, but they have some, and these are getting ripe at just about the right time. Over here are the blackberries. These are all thornless. Let's go look at the grapes and the muscadines. Starting from left to right, we have a Carlos muscadine over on the left. It produces, perfect flowers, which have both male and female parts. And then we have the Sweet Jenny. That's the one with all these leaves, and that's the one that we're growing the Carlos. We put the Carlos in there for, because it only produces female parts on the female leaves on that. But man, it's going everywhere. All right, over here, both of these are Concord grapes, and at one time we had these tied to the grape plants, but they don't really need it anymore. But since you can see, the vines have started attaching themselves to it, and we don't want to take a chance on these things falling. These trees right here are still to be put in the ground. Those first two are pawpaw trees, and then we've got two pear trees, and that third, I guess technically it's the fifth. That fifth tree is a persimmon tree, a Fuyu persimmon tree, and it's actually growing even though it's in the container. We did transplant these three, and they seem to be staying upright. The two that we got over here, I haven't transplanted them into a bigger pot. I probably need to. So, well, I'm gonna get them put in the ground soon. So anyhow, that one should be a pineapple pear tree. This should be a Bartlett. Yep. That's other just piddly stuff. That one is a good question. I don't know if it's going to make it, but that one is a King Edward blue currant bush. That's a gooseberry. It'll be going in the ground soon. Here's two fig trees that my wife started from cuttings. She's a master gardener. I've taken the courses for it, but I hadn't done the service yet. Anyhow, that's a tour of the food forest as it sits right now. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot. We got the pecan trees. Let's go take a look. If you go back and look, some of the this particular pecan tree was looking really bad. Something had stripped all the leaves off. I never have been able to find any of the culprits. I expect it was some kind of a caterpillar, but it's looking a whole lot better. It's right here. Pecan trees are thirsty trees, so you have to make sure you water them pretty regularly. Make sure you got your irrigation in place. I try to build up a little bit of dirt around the outside. I don't want to bury it deep, but I did want to make sure that there's a little bit of thing out here to kind of hold the water in that spot. We got another one over here. Now this particular one is a desirable pecan, and the desirable pecan is one that will produce the male pollen, I guess you could call it, the male parts for this is an Elliott pecan, and It's looking all right. Not quite as good as that other one, but it didn't have all the bugs on it the other one did. That's 35 feet from this one. And then this is the last one that I've got planted out here. It does look like it's got some new growth on it though. That's awesome. This particular one is a Sumner pecan. Here in Mississippi, like I said, that's 35 feet from there to here, and that's 35 feet from there to there, and that's 35 feet from there to there. There's a method to my madness. Fact is that here in Mississippi, in this area anyhow, we have wind that comes from the south to the north on a regular basis. That's the predominant wind. So what you have to have is you have to have one that's going to produce the pollen to fertilize or pollinate these two. There are two types of pecan trees, type 1 and type 2. One of them produces, you know, the male stuff, the male pollen, the male stuff to begin with, and the one produces the female. They don't do them at the same time. It's why pecan trees are not self-pollinating. But by having it this way, the male one, type 1, is going to pollinate both of these. Both of these are type 2, and that's type 1. So anyhow, I guess as long as we're over here, we can look at this raised bed. It's been a little bit neglected, and I apologize for that. It just ain't enough hours in the day. You can tell now some of this stuff's doing all right. That pepper plant there in the corner, seems to be doing all right. I mean, it's still alive. We've obviously got some pest issues on here. I'll have to get some more BT made up and sprayed. I did put 4 tomato plants in here, and well, I can see they've got a few tomatoes on them. That's a good thing. I need to weed a little bit. Mostly it's on these outside. And these, of course, have, looks like some caterpillars getting to them. I think I sprayed them last time. That may be why you're not seeing any much damage on the new growth. Anyhow, it hadn't been long since I sprayed them, but I don't know if they'll live. I hope they do. We'll find out. Anyhow, thank y'all for coming and visiting. Appreciate y'all walking along with me, or following along with me, tagging along with me, whatever you want to call it. I appreciate y'all coming and visiting the channel. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment. Thanks.